Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
Terry Robert Albright, Moses Lopez Alves, Glenn Wilson Apple, Ellis Miller Bailey, Gregory William Beasy, Dennis Arthur Bukey, Larry Rogers Billy, Henry Arthur Blanding, Thomas Michael Boyer, Ellsworth Smith Bradford, Robert Wade Brunson, John Elton Candy, Ronald Lamar Cannon, John Thomas Carroll, Douglas Compton, Varice Helton Crabtree Jr., Larry Edwin Crow, Alphonsi Culver, Samuel M. Davis, Willie Sonny Davis, James Richard Dishart, Harry Everett Drescher Jr., Randolph Duval Jr., James Thomas Faulkner, Willie C. Ferguson Jr., James Edward Flickinger, James Christian Freet, Domingo Ibarra Garcia, Joseph Armand Roger Galinas, Darrell Lee Gibbons, Martin Gale Gilliam, Peter Ray Goodnight, Alan Davis Groom, Lenold George Gillette, Jeffrey Charles Hahn, William Thomas Hale, Leland Emmanuel Hammond, Thomas Fred Hankins, Lanty Lawrence Harris Jr., Vernon Lynn Hartman Jr., John Hooper V. Hathaway, Peter Sheldon Holly, Brian Tracy Hever, Ivan Louis Heller, Wayne George Hensley, Richard David Hensley, Benny Joe Hicks, Stephen Joseph Hoogterp, Alvin Rutherford Hoover III, Isaac Paul Huffman, Christopher Henry Ine, Dennis Clarence Jurdette, William Jimenez Acevedo, Urban Harold Johannes Jr., Leo Fred Johnson, Reese Alvin Jones, Victor Lawrence Jones, Alfred August Caspal, Gary Douglas Kemsky, Frank W. Kincaid Jr., Lawrence Charles Kleinens, Bernard Richard Knappich, Patrick Stephen Laird, Marvin Dean Larson,
Willie George Lewis Jr., Jerry Clifton Light, Glenn Locklear, Robert Looney, Elmer Wayne Maharan, Edward Melowitz Jr., Stephen Wayne Martin, George Willis Martin, David Leroy McCombs, Timothy Medalick, Ronald Darrell Miller, Audley Dwayne Mills, Jimmy Lee Minks, Abraham Lincoln Moore, Paul Narcissus, William Henry Noose,
David Lyle Nicholas, Herman James O'Byrne, William Ortega Jr., Earl Douglas Osborne, Victor Ralph Parker, William Victor Penny, David Drake Perkins, Thomas Dewey Pipkin Jr., Bryant Russell Powell, Jeffrey William Renaud, Robert Jude Riley, Jerome James Rice, John Joseph William Roden, Peter Edward Shriver, Larry Dean Shelton, James Jerry Shows, Michael Smith, Milton Snow Jr., Melvin Eugene Tucker, David John Ucker, Jerry Daniel Varner, Clyde Elmer Walter Jr., J. D. Walters, James Calvin Ward, Michael Francis Weissert, Abram Joseph Welker, Marvin Wesley Jr., Donald Nisler White, Roy Rudolph Whiteside, Virgil Henry Wilson Jr., Robert Lee Womack,